Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time, back with his good friend, Mr. Steven Dow. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing fantastic. Yourself?
I'm doing well, man. So you and I are going to talk about multifamily. We're going to try to tie together lots of different conversations from the week. Thank you
Yep.
for the support.
Yep.
Um, the first thing I want to highlight is Jonathan Twomley slash Grant Cardone has
Hmm.
talked about 1,457 multifamily properties being in trouble. These are the larger stuff. Jonathan and
Right.
I talked this morning. More and more banks are saying, "Hey, we're not gonna refi this debt, on the 5 to 40 units." So, I think there's a
Yep.
lot of pain coming to the multifamily space. A lot of people bought with bad debt structures, bad assumptions,
Hmm.
and where there's pain, there's also great opportunity. So Velocity Mortgage, such as yourself, you guys provide a lot of flexibility for buyers such as myself. So
Right.
just talk about all the things where you can help people get deals done.
Sure. As far as a deeper dive into what programs are available, although I work very happily for
I
Velocity Mortgage
forgot.
Capital, all the ideas and topics discussed on this channel are that of my own. I know you would. It's been a minute.
Yeah,
So
I'm slipping. Sorry.
yeah. Well, you're still coming back from the holiday fog. You did have to travel east to west. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So a little bit,
Thank
lingering jet lag. Just trying to
thank you.
support you, Mike. Um, no, as far as the opportunities that we can participate in on the multifamily space, I mean, it's pretty flexible because one, you can qualify using stated income. We're not going to look at your tax returns, pay stubs, or W-2s. And
Mhm.
then, in addition to that, some of the topics that were discussed this week, in particular to the multifamily space, is that when some of these loans are going to mature, they're not going to debt service.
Right.
Well, we're not that concerned with debt service up to a certain loan amount. On a refinance at 500,000 or less, or on a purchase at 750 or less in the
Mm,
multifamily space, we're not that concerned. So that
okay.
does give you a little bit of flexibility in trying to get the highest loan amount,
Mhm.
given the circumstance. Sometimes rents haven't caught up to values just yet,
Right.
so that does help. But other than that, yeah, we do allow owner user where you can live in one of the units and do like an apartment hack.
Mhm.
30-year fixed money. Also, you can hold title to an entity. We don't report to the credit bureaus. You can add an
Yeah.
interest only payment option for the first 10 years of your 30-year fixed loan. And
Mhm.
you can combine this with the 50-40-10 to maximize everything, in addition to requesting for the seller to contribute up to 3% towards your non-recurring closing costs. So all those little levers you can kind of pull
Yeah.
given the circumstances and the resources available for that property.
Yeah, I think there's a couple of things I just want to hit again because
Yeah.
I think creativity is going to be the day in the multifamily space. There are clearly operators who are in trouble, right? 100, what, 1,457 of them. We've talked about that a couple of times. And that's the minimum. There are certainly more. Those are larger buildings. There's plenty
Right.
of 5 to 40 units, which is where I play. Big boys like Jonathan and Grant, 100 and above, not where I play. I'm in the 5 to 40 range.
Mm-hmm.
So first off, again, your limits, right? 500K on a refi, 750 on a purchase. That's important. I've done deals there. Second, 30-year money on
Well, again, that's for just so that we're not concerned about debt service, but our
right.
loan limits are actually from 100,000 up to 5 million, as
There you
far as
go.
the range is from minimum to maximum. But
I
yes,
like it.
the kind of the sweet spot. Yes.
Yeah, I like that. Then again, I've used you, right? You've done loans
Hmm.
for me, 30-year fixed
Yes, to
rate debt.
commercial. Yep.
Yeah,
Don't even
I,
say the rate because people are going like,
yeah,
oh, Pete,
yeah,
pouring salt in the wound. You should
there,
have
yeah,
listened. We try to tell you, screaming from the mountaintops for months,
yeah.
months. You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
anyway,
but there are people out there that don't think you can get 30-year money on multifamily, and that's just not true. Velocity Mortgage offers
right,
that product, and I've used it. So,
right,
and both on a purchase and a refi, you gave me 30-year money on both,
right,
so I know it works. You
right.
have those products. Then
Yep.
there's the whole entity thing, and just people. There's going to be a lot of pain, and thus a lot of opportunity. I strongly recommend people that are fishing in this water
Right.
to reach out to you, just get a file
Sure.
started
Yep.
because
Run some numbers. I mean, numbers don't lie. That's all I ever ask for is just the opportunity to see how I can fit in because I know I won't be everything to everybody. But
no,
in this market, the creativity along with the flexibility of the product will kind of allow you to participate into more transactions given the rate environment that we're in. But right now, there's a lot more motivated sellers that I'm seeing firsthand because I'm getting the
yeah,
deals.
yeah,
You would think where my rates kind of creeped up, you said it. The real hardcore investors, they don't care about rate. It's all about
Yeah, they
cash
don't
flow.
care.
But they're
Yep.
making the right offers, or they're tapping into their equity to kind of find the right leverage, level that makes, that's comfortable for them, and then making the right moves where, okay, they'll borrow at, you know, 9, 10%, but they're making caps at like 20 or more. So it's like, it doesn't matter to them,
Yeah.
just finding the right opportunity.
Yeah. And then the other thing is the 50-40-10, which you and I created in spur of a moment. Seems like a year ago. Now it's really kicking in.
Right.
We're going to find operators who are like, I'm done. I want out. They can't get the
Uh-huh.
deal done because the building is not at condition. It won't appraise or whatever it is. But if you can
Right.
do a 50-40-10 and get that 40%, which is the owner carry sub 3%, you can really get blended interest rates sub 6%. And we've
Right.
done plenty of videos on that. So we show you the math. But just talk about creativity. I know people are coming to you for 50-40-10. What's going on in that space?
Actually, surprisingly, I'm getting some interest from sellers
Oh, wow.
calling in. They heard about it, yeah, because now they couldn't get rid of the property based upon
Exactly.
current conventional financing. They're like, you know what, this is interesting. I didn't know that something like this, and so they're asking more from the seller's
Wow.
perspective, like, okay, how should I structure this? And I'm like, well, you're going to need to negotiate that with the buyer. That's between you guys and what makes you feel comfortable, right?
Yeah.
But what
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
seeing, and I was just telling him what I'm, actually seeing from the deals I'm getting, where the seller is carrying that, most of the time it's like a 10-year
Yeah.
balloon, like a 1% interest only. And so at first they get a little taken back because they're thinking too low. But then when we start kind of talking it out, like, well, do you have anything planned for that money? No. What are you going to do with it? Oh, it's just going to put in the bank and wait. I was like, okay, what are you making on that money right now? Oh, and then we kind of start talking it out, and they're like, wow, I didn't really look at that from this
Yeah.
other perspective. And so for that particular seller, it started to make more sense because again, we were looking at the other option. Okay, go back on the market or cancel the listing. Otherwise, you go back on the market. What's your
Yeah.
option right now? What's your market specific? Like, let's be specific to your market. Is it softening? Is it diminishing? Because it's only going to get worse, not get better. So
Yeah.
they get it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, again, if you're a seller, that's actually creative. That's actually really good. Actually, we should tell brokers, right?
No,
If
I
you're a
know.
broker,
I'm 2 steps ahead. But as soon
yeah,
as that person, I was like, you know what? I should be hitting up like realtors. Like, you know what? You should tell your sellers
yeah,
this is an option for them because then now it's attracting other buyers because it'll
yeah.
cash flow.
Yeah. Again, the 50-40-10 is magical because again,
Mm-hmm.
the buyer and the seller work out an agreement. It doesn't have to be 50-40-10. It could be,
Right.
70-20-10 or whatever.
42, 48, 10. I did.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly. Exactly. So you basically agree on price and payment, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
again, if you're a seller in a market today, you really do have two choices. You can take a huge haircut and fire sell it, or you can get close to your price and just take terms. Because again,
Right.
your price, my terms, my price, your terms. So the 50-40-10 is magical. I'm still looking to use it. Um, I'm trying to get Park Place and Boardwalk in
Well,
Fresno with that.
right. I mean, what somebody from this channel used it.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
50, 40,
So
10. So it worked out. So no, it again just depends on the situation. But when all the kind of, you know, the planets align, it's a beautiful thing. It really works out best for everybody involved, given whatever circumstance. But in the long run, it's like the reality of it solving the seller's
yeah.
issues. Because right now, days on market, it's not good for you.
Yeah.
Longer days on market, you're going to continue to get low balled property
Into the
values,
winter.
especially
Yeah.
certain market. Yep.
Yeah.
So they get it, and yeah, I think the word's getting out, and I think it's just now looked at it from a different angle versus just from a buyer standpoint. Now, from the seller standpoint, like this makes sense. Like I don't want to do this, like stay on the market any longer. And if I can get in something now,
Yeah.
and kind of write it out, then yeah, it works.
Yeah. When a seller decides they want to sell, sometimes they want to sell, right? And it's not about the price, especially investors, right? If you're a homeowner, an occupant, you'll just take it off the market. I'm not going to sell my home for a discount. But if you're a
Right.
landlord, you own it free and clear.
Yep.
Sometimes you just want out, and maybe this is a better way to do it. So, Stephen, if somebody wanted to buy in multifamily and run some numbers with you, how do they reach out?
Best way again is just to email me sdao@velocitymortgage.com. In the subject line, just please put the acronym ORAAT, which stands for one rental at a time, the buy, the email, maybe a brief description of what you're looking for. Property address would be very helpful, at least the city and state where you're looking to invest in, your mid FICO score, and then the best number to reach you at. And typically 48 hours, I'll be in touch.
Awesome. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you, sir.